Oh, here we go, baby. It's going. Yeet, 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 yeet. We in it. Not even in my dreams.
Hey, be a squid and subscribe to my mediocrity.
Привет, comrades. Today, we're talking about the BDO pay-to-win aspects. As I mentioned a long time ago, my opinion has slightly changed to a little bit of a degree. It's been a kind of an interesting experience because I've kind of leaned away from spending money on the game, and now I've just been grinding just money off of gathering, going to grind spots, just basically playing the game like a normal human being and not a whale. And because I've been doing that, I'm slowly starting to change my thoughts and views on console BDO in terms of pay to win. Now, obviously, there are certain things that are definitely pay to win, like the artisan memory bundle where you get like 100 artisan memory for like 40 bucks or something, and then you also get cron stones, and I think you get 30 Valkyrie, which is pretty heavy. Like with that pack alone, I could guarantee an item to fucking try easily. I mean, shit, I shotgunned a fucking Crescent today to try, and that shit was fun. So I had a free build this morning, so that was really cool. But overall, when it comes to BDO and pay to win, this seems to be a touchy subject, and people just kind of really seem to genuinely believe that this game is 100% pay to win, when in fact, it's more like pay to speed your way past everybody, not necessarily pay and then you win the game. You can definitely play the game without fucking, buying all this shit, but for the people that do, they tend to get ahead a lot faster, but you can still compete. It just is going to take you a bit longer to get to that area, but nonetheless, you can still get there. I think a lot of the discussion and anger comes from the lack of knowledge and ignorance when it comes to how to make money in this game. I get questions all the time in my comment section, especially on my previous guides and certain, things where they don't know what to do. Like the number one that gets messaged to me on Discord on a regular basis is, how do I make silver? What's the best gear that I should get? What should I be focusing on? How do I do this? Like, just overall, the end of the day, the main question is, how do I get X amount of money so I can get the gear that I'm looking for? That's typically how it always starts. Which that tells me that there's a lack of knowledge, and people really seem to not understand how the game works, so that way you can function in the video game economy, so that way you can move and progress. So therefore, people get upset and angry and call it pay to win. And what furthers this weird, ignorant sort of, and when I say ignorant, I'm not trying to be like, offensive or like, you dumb, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to really hit you up with the you're retarded or anything like that, but I'm saying that you have a lack of knowledge of the game, which is fine, because I had a lack of knowledge of the game for like 6 years, so, we're in the same boat here, dog. It's only recently I started making hundreds of millions on a regular basis, and keep in mind, I've been playing this game since the beginning of PC and beginning of console, and I let me repeat this, I just figured it out a little over like 2-3 weeks ago, so this is not something that is easily just figured out on the spot. Some people grasp the concept easier than others, but overall, this is why people get upset and call it pay to win, is because of a lack of understanding, which is why I did it. And what furthers the confusion is all these YouTubers and people that are popping out with guides on, hey, all right, here's the strat, right, guys? Let's check it, all right? I'm about to give you the sauce, 500 mil an hour, easy, I'm about to make you rich, and then people try the method and it doesn't work. And it's not that the method doesn't necessarily exist or doesn't work, it's that at the time of the recording of that video, it definitely probably worked, and then because so many people latched on to the idea, whether it be selling a certain item on the marketplace or whatever, that affects how the flow of the market and the economy works. If there's too many people selling one item or whatever, then it becomes saturated, and the price and everything just devalues and it becomes worthless. So that's also contributing to the confusion and weirdness, because let's say you watch a guide from 2018, it's 2020. So you're looking at a guide from over 2 years ago that's probably irrelevant, or at least not necessarily as good as it once was. So you're like, well, this guy says I can make 20 million. I'm only making 5 million. There's a reason for that, and it's not your fault, it's the person that uploaded the video's fault. So when this happens, people get frustrated and they think YouTubers are lying or they don't understand, so it just confuses the player even further and just causes more of this pay to win talk, which on PC, it's a different story. That is definitely pay to win. Costumes on there are worth like 330 some million, which if I were to drop like 200 bones, I could have all 10 weapons in under an hour. So I'm just saying, that's pay to win. Like, no shit, that's crazy. But to progress on console, you can't just drop $100 and instantly have like everything. Nothing is guaranteed, even with money added to the game. It just speeds the progress a little bit further, and you pay for a little bit of safety whenever you use cron stones off a costume. But in retrospect, there is nothing guaranteed. If you buy costumes and then you extract the cron stones, you're just paying for safety. You're not paying for guaranteed enhance. You still have to have the money to fail stack. You still have to have the money to invest in the reblath. You have to have the money to invest in the Grunel, the armor stones. I think I already said that. Memfrags. You still have to have a lot of money to invest, which requires you to grind. Or obviously you can sell costumes, but you're looking at spending $500 to $1,000 just to even get remotely close to that. Costumes are only worth 167 mil on console, so you're spending a lot of fucking money just to even get to that point. So it's not even worth it, because you're just throwing money away whenever you could just grind. And I know that sounds a bit ridiculous and outlandish whenever you hear, oh, just grind, it's that easy. But it is that easy, bro. All right, check it out. This is Professor Squid right here. I'm about to drop some knowledge on you and some hot numbers. All right, so check it out. You make 50 mil a day. You do that for 30 days. You're looking at 1.5 billion profit a month, which most gear that's at least tet or tri accessories, depending on what you're going for, is roughly around a billion. So within about 4 to 6 months, you can have about 6 pieces of gear that is, you know, I would consider soft cap, which would allow you to do pretty much anything you want to do in the game. I think dim tree on console at the moment is roughly around 1.4 billion, but you can completely bypass that by just saving up your shock 2 seals for a couple months, and then you can get a free dim tree. Plus, you don't even have to actually get dim tree. You could just get red nose armor, which is like 880 million or something on the lines of that, and sometimes people are selling it for the low, so you can even get it cheaper, so that allows you to just not have to worry about spending a billion. There are certain items like Uragons and, you know, Beg's gloves and stuff like that you can't get around that are going to cost a billion, but there are some items that you can swap out and kind of work around in order to save yourself some money and still obtain soft cap gear. Obviously, the most ideal thing is Uragons, Begs, Dim Tree, Griffins and stuff like that. That's like the ideal armors that you want to go for, but that's like, if that's pricey, you're looking at over 5 billion, 6 billion even sometimes, because Uragons are not cheap by any degree, especially Tet. But that's about 6 bill in profit, and just to get that alone, at least those ideal pieces, you're looking at 6 months of work, which, like I said, that sounds absurd. You have to basically wait 6 months just to get into soft cap gear, but that opens the mind a little bit to let you realize that, oh, this is possible. I actually can do this. When I first started out, the biggest issue for me was trying to figure out how to make money and what was the reasoning for it and how long would it take me. I don't really care personally how much money I make. It's more like, how long will it take for me to get geared? Once I looked at it in retrospect in the larger, you know, picture here, I started to realize, oh, this is doable. I can do this, you know. I've already got majority of my gear already, so I've got my 3 Tet weapons that are all boss gear, you know, Dandy, Kudum, and Zarka, so I'm good on that. All of those are roughly around a billion, so since I have all of them, that scratches that off, so that's 3 months off my list, and I don't have to worry about it. I've got to try Crescents. I just got another one today, so I don't even necessarily need to, but I'm selling it because, you know, Kaposha, I don't, well, why would I even bother? I just hit level 61 and I get one. Once I sell this Tri Crescents, that's going to be my Tungrad earring, which, you know, once I hit level 62, I get a Kaposha again, so not necessary for me to get a second one, I just need to grind. So in conclusion here, boy, with just the thought process of being able to make 50 million a day and then doing that for 30 days, you know, just a month, I mean, realistically, 1.5 bill. That's a lot of fucking money, especially if you budget and hold out for good prices and whatnot. That's a lot that you can mess around with. And that's just including buying stuff. If you enhance for profit, this can further your money even further without even having to worry about this. I'm just speaking in terms of just buying all your gear and never enhancing, never, you know, doing anything crazy to speed the process, but that's still pretty damn good. I know it sucks that when you look at it in the grander scheme of things, it's about a year before you're fully soft cap, but just know that there's something at the end of the tunnel, and BDO has never been the game where you're gonna have quick results instantly. That's just never been the case. Remember, marathon, not a race. Just what it is. So in conclusion here, boys, I think my opinion for console BDO, at least, pay to win, I would say it has aspects, but definitely not nearly as bad as what people make it out to be. I just can't see it. I just don't. I've looked at the marketplace. I've looked at the, you know, the Pearl shop, both PC and Xbox, and it's just not enough for me to say, yeah, it's 100% pay to win, and if you don't drop money, then you're just basically not going to make anything. That's a load of horse hockey. So yeah, I think that's kind of just going to conclude the video. I really don't have much else to say. If you have some opinions and thoughts, I'm open to kind of hearing other people's perspectives, because I've had this conversation a couple times, and I've never really been swayed so much as in just doing the research myself. So maybe you guys can open some, you know, logic to me on console and whatnot. Maybe I can change my opinion again. But that's my reasoning for saying that, pay to win, not so much, but it does have aspects, but definitely not as hardcore as PC. But anyway, that's it. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.